What's up guys, so it's Adam from Schlock Horror here once again with another video for you, my dear viewers who I love so much. Especially if you're watching this one because you're the rarest and most loyal and dedicated of viewers that I have. Recently it was Black Friday and I picked up some cool things that I want to share with you. I actually picked up my very first ever Criterion Collection Blu-ray. That's why I don't own any other things from the Criterion Collection. I think I own some movies that are in the Criterion Collection, but I don't own the Criterion editions. Until now, I have got what is indisputably one of the greatest movies ever made, a personal favorite, of course, 12 Angry Men from 1957, directed by Sidney Lumet. This is spine number 591 or 591 for anyone who is into Criterion collecting. As I said, this is my first, so I'm not that into it, obviously. But there you go. I don't own any other copies of 12 Angry Men, so if I was going to buy it and own it, which I should do, which everyone should because it's one of the greatest movies ever, I figured I would get the Criterion. And it was like 20 bucks or whatever, or euro, I guess, realistically. Or pounds, actually. It's listed in pounds on Amazon because I shop on Amazon UK. So it's listed as pounds, and then you got to translate it into euro, but then I got to translate it into dollars because I have a primarily American audience. The things I do for you guys, my international audience. But then it came down in Black Friday sales, so it was cheaper. I don't remember how much by, but it was cheaper. So I got it, and now I own it. And as you can see, I haven't actually watched it yet because it's still in the plastic, but I've not watched this on Blu-ray. I'm looking forward to the pristine quality as well as all of the extras. So here is this top paragraph is the blurb that describes the movie and what it's about and whatever. And then this here is all of the extras. For anyone who's not familiar with Criterion, they do a fucking boatload of extras, as you can see by... That's longer than the description of the movie. So this is all the extras and things that are included, including commentaries and featurettes and all sorts of stuff. I haven't even read this full thing. There's also a booklet inside of it. I'm not going to open it right now, but there's a booklet inside of it that's about stuff. This is the 1957 original film version of 12 Angry Men, but there was an earlier... It started life as a teleplay for a show, Studio One, where every week they do a live broadcast of a drama or whatever. So that's where 12 Angry Men first came from. It was written by Reginald Rose as a teleplay for Studio One. It was an hour long, and then it was made into the longer feature film version by Sidney Lumet, the ultimate classic. But this includes the, I don't know where it fucking is on there, but this includes the Studio One version. So this has the 1955 original hour-long TV episode version of 12 Angry Men. It doesn't, of course, include the 1997 made-for-television feature-length remake of 12 Angry Men in color by William Friedkin, with also an ensemble cast. Jack Lemmon is in that, George C. Scott, loads of great guys in that. I also love that version. It's not as good as this, but I do like the remake. The last time I checked it was on Amazon Prime. And but even like a bare bones standalone DVD release of that movie is almost as expensive as this, the Criterion, and that one doesn't have any extra features or anything. It's literally just the movie on DVD. So I guess it's kind of rare. It's probably out of print. But that version, I mean, you can watch it online. It might be on YouTube or on other sites. The remake is worth seeing, but you should see this one first. Obviously, you have never seen 12 Angry Men. Watch this version, and then see the remake is pretty good. I've seen it live on stage as well. That was good. I mean, it's just a classic, really in the script, I guess, but this is also a very well-directed film. So, 12 Angry Men, what is there to say about it? I haven't even barely talked about the movies about it. I'm assuming everyone knows because it's a classic. I keep waving my Criterion at you. There you go. This is my first Criterion. Perhaps one of many. I mean, they do a lot of classics and a lot of, like, art house and foreign stuff. It isn't really in my wheelhouse. I know, like, The Rock is in there. I already have The Rock on Blu-ray. Maybe I'll get The Rock on Criterion or Armageddon. That's more up my alley. But I do love 12 Angry Men, so I'm glad I got this. And it does look very exciting to get into. Anyway, that's the only physical media, not movie related. That's the only like movie I got, the only DVD, or Blu-ray in this case. I also went on a site called TeePublic, which I've never used before. Maybe you guys are familiar with it. I have never used it before, which does t-shirts. Not this one. This is one I already have for a couple of years. It's a dabbing monkey. You gotta love it. So I went on TeePublic, and they have loads of cool designs on there that I got. Like I had a ton in my basket, so because it was Black Friday, they were all knocked down in price. So I got 5, count them on my fingers, 5-finger death punch, 5 fingers, or 5 t-shirts. Actually, I already had 5 fingers, or I mean 4 fingers and a thumb. 4 fingers and a thumb, that's what was I got 9 fingers total. It's not 9, it's fucking 8, isn't it? It's 8 fingers, 2 thumbs, but then 10 fingers in total. I mean, who in this day and age is still pedantic enough to be arguing about the thumbs thing? I mean, they are fingers, really, aren't they? Look, anyway, that's not what I wanted to get into today. I want to show you. Here's my thing. Now, obviously, I opened it already, and then I took all the t-shirts out to try them on to make sure they fit, and I badly folded them and put them back in. So it looks kind of janky. It was better packed yesterday when it arrived. They didn't send it to me like this, and obviously they didn't send it to me open. So I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to do a try-on haul. That's right. So people are always doing try-on hauls on YouTube. It's generally women putting on like fucking bathing suits and stuff, and I mean, who gives a shit what they're saying, right? People are just watching that for the, well, you know, the content, the visual content. Not like that today. I'm going to show you some cool t-shirts that I got from TeePublic, and I just realized right now that I meant to, before I came up here to shoot this video, to get the names of like the artists and producers who did this, because they're individual, like independent sellers on there that you buy from on TeePublic, who put up their own designs, and that's what you buy. You buy from them, you're supporting them. Don't fucking remember anyone's name, and I'm not going to go and get them, because fuck that. So I'm going to put them in text. When I edit this video later, I'll add some text overlays for who the seller is, and shout out to those people for doing cool designs and all the rest of it. So let's do the try-on haul with my... It's kind of cool when I stand back here and I do the thing with the fingers. All fingers and thumbs. There you go. Who was that singer, that so-called singer who did that once? So the first t-shirt I got is a tribute to my personal favorite filmmaker of all time, the one and only Mr. John Carpenter. Yeah, that looks fucking cool. That's turned out really well in that classic, beautiful, delicious John Carpenter font. And I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it when I look down, that in the O of John Carpenter aligns perfectly with where my nipple is. So it's poking out of it, because it's quite cold right now, so I'm quite hard. Just the nipples though. So that would also be good for a try and haul video that those other YouTubers make. That would get them a lot of clicks. You could put it in the thumbnail. Maybe I'll put it in the thumbnail, maybe not the thumbnail, not the fingernail. Although I did cut my fingernails yesterday. So yeah, you gotta love John Carpenter. He's the best, even though, I mean, look, when you think about it, he's made a lot of pretty fucking shit movies as well, if we're being honest. But his classics, his good movies are so good that they cancel out fucking anything else he did. The greatest, one of the most influential filmmakers, hugely influential on me as a person, and yeah, huge fan of this guy. This looks fucking sick. I'm quite happy with that. But everyone knows all the best John Carpenter movies, except Halloween. He's not in Halloween, but all the best John Carpenter movies always have a certain guy in them, his frequent collaborator, his good friend, and my favorite actor, Mr. Kurt Russell. Oh, that looks great. It doesn't look so good on the video because of the angle makes it look like sort of awkward like that. But IRL in real life, when I angle it a bit better, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. You gotta love it. I went with the grey on this one, as you can see. Just if anyone can't see, if anyone's watching my video blind, I appreciate it. I don't know why, because I have a very annoying voice, so if you can't see it, I don't know what you'd be getting out of the audio-only kind of version of this video. But if you can't see, anyway, I got a grey t-shirt. John Carpenter one is black. It's a grey t-shirt with a big old pic of Kurt's beautiful, smiling face on it. One of my favorite actors. One of the best actors of a generation. Like, he was like an A-list movie star, right? Everybody knows and everybody loves Kurt Russell, but I still think he's kind of underrated. I think people underrate how good he actually is, like, as an actor. Because I think sometimes you have someone who's got, like, movie star charisma, and they're great, but they're maybe not what I'd say like a deep actor. They might not have much range. They might not have a lot of depth. They sometimes kind of basically play themselves in a way. And that's fine, and that's all well and good, but, you know, there's that. And then you have very, very good, say, character actors who maybe don't have star power, but they would have a broad range of talent skills that they can play. And then I think you get someone who could do both. And I think Kurt Russell is someone who could do both. I think if you watch just 3 of his most famous performances in John Carpenter movies alone, all right, Snake Plissken in Escape from New York, Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China. What was that? Someone is hammering or something. I thought someone was coming in the fucking door. And what was the other one? R.J. McCready in The Thing. They are 3 very different characters, very different performances. I mean, you could argue R.J. and Snake are a little alike, but they're also very different in a lot of ways. And then Jack Burton is something totally different as well. So if you watch those, you can see how much range he has, but also how much charisma and star power he has. So, yeah, I think even though he is a very beloved actor, I think he's still underrated. I think people underrate how much of a fucking goat Kurt Russell is. I think he's one of the best of his generation. He's like fucking Denzel. You know the way like Denzel is. Denzel is both a great actor and a great star. So is Kurt in my eyes. So I very proudly wear his symbol and his visage upon my person. Unless he gets cancelled, Kurt, I fucking love you, buddy. Please don't fucking do some shit where this makes me look bad. Maybe we'll circle back to that in a little while. Now, speaking of range, I got another t-shirt with another great actor, one of my favorites. And this is for all those viewers who probably aren't watching this because they only watch one particular series on my channel. I mean, it had to be done. I had to get a Columbo related t-shirt. And it's got Robert fucking Culp on it. And it is a specifically Columbo themed t-shirt where he is playing Dr. Bart Keppel in Double Exposure season... I nearly got the fucking... What's it? Season 3, episode 4, isn't it? I was going to say season 3, episode 2. That's Any Old Port in a Storm. Damn, I nearly have to turn in my Columbo fan credentials there. So... this, whoever sells this, their name is here or somewhere. Their like store on TeePublic, they actually have there are 2 things that are specifically made for me. They have Columbo merch and they have Big Trouble in Little China merch starring Kurt Russell. That's my favorite movie, and Columbo is my favorite show. And they have this whole range of I mean, you could also get them on tote bags and I think on like caps and stuff if you want, but I just got them as t-shirts. But they have a whole range of designs that are each of the Columbo villains from every episode. They're in this format. They have a visual, an image of the killer, and then their name, the episode name, and then a quote from that killer, which this is from this scene at the end of the episode where Dr. Bart Keppel says, "You have to admit, Lieutenant, you never would have solved it without using my technique." And then Columbo says, "Yes, sir, if there was a reward, I'd support your claim to it." I'm a long ways off finishing my Columbo series. It's no secret that this is one of my favorite episodes and that I love Culp's performance. This might be my favorite Columbo killer. I'm not sure yet. I'll probably eventually have to do like a top 10 or something. But he's going to be in like top 3, I think. And I might also do a video because I go back and forth on, is Culp my favorite recurring Columbo killer? Or is it Jack Cassidy? Or is it McGowan? And I'd like to do something where I kind of try to debate the 3. I mean, I might not do that because I'm spoiling it here. But I think for me it's Culp. I always come back to it being Culp. 1, it's just my knee-jerk reaction. Like if... I think like first impression kind of speaks for something. So if someone said, who of those 3 was your favorite? My first instinct would be to say Robert Culp, partly because I love this performance so much in this episode. But I think much like I was talking about Kurt Russell, I was talking about range. I think he's got the best range. Although McGowan shows a lot of good range as well, we have to say. Jack Cassidy is kind of that other kind of star I was talking about, where Jack Cassidy is incredibly charismatic, and I love Jack Cassidy, but he also kind of basically just plays himself in all 3 of his episodes. And why would you need anything else? That's so entertaining. That's great. But Culp shows just in his 3... Well, I always forget he has a 4th performance, of course, but in the 3 lead performances where he is the killer, it's 3 very different characters, 3 very different performances, and he's fucking excellent in all 3 of them. You don't see him waver one. You go, he wasn't as good in that one because he was playing more to his strengths in this other episode. He's fucking brilliant in all 3 of them. But this is the closest to like the most classic Columbo killer archetype that he plays. The other two are maybe a bit more subversive, because when he plays Investigator Brimmer, he's very sympathetic, I would say, in a way, and you know, it was a sort of an accidental and planned murder, so that's a little bit different. Obviously, that happens on Columbo, but it's not the norm. And Paul Hanlon is just angry all of the time and has no time for Columbo, and that's a little different as well. Whereas he has the more sort of, I start by being friendly with Columbo and then I get more irritated, and you know, the ultimate, basically what Jack Cassidy did in Murder by the Book, the ultimate Columbo killer dynamic. So I think that's why I love this one so much, and he's my favorite one. So again, like all 69 killer, or there's actually more than 69 because some of them have two. Now that I think about it, some episodes have more than 2 killers. I don't know if every killer has its own t-shirt. Say Michael Maguire was Hugh Caldwell, the second killer in A Friend Indeed. I don't know if you can get a Hugh Caldwell t-shirt. You could definitely get a commission. I was going to say Richard Halperin. It was Mark Halperin, played by Richard Kiley. You can definitely get a t-shirt with him on it. So go check out that guy's store if you're a Columbo fan, and get some Columbo killer merch, and get some Big Trouble in Little China merch while you're there. So yeah, I would love to eventually get the whole range. I don't know if that's feasible right now. I would love to get all the Columbo killer t-shirts, but I'll definitely go back. I'll get some of my other favorite killers. Donald Pleasence, Dick Van Dyke, Jack Cassidy, McGowan, like they'll all be on there for sure. Beth Chadwick, I think, it was super underrated, and the other Robert Culp characters as well. I think I'll have to get, but this is my favorite Robert Culp character, so I'm very happy and proud. I just read the lighting makes this one look like it's kind of grey, or at least here it looks like it's kind of grey. I think it's the shadow, because it's kind of, well, it's not even that late in the evening. It's just because it's winter, the sun's going down earlier. But in real life, it's actually white. So yeah, it's not grey like. Obviously, if you put the greyness of the outright greyness of the Kurt Russell one with a darker grey, you can definitely see the what's happening to Kurt's face there. You can definitely see the difference there. And I'm going to pivot now from one of my favorite TV show into another one of my favorite TV shows. This one, I'm just over here, by the way. I'm just over here in case you were wondering where I've gone to. I'm just over here getting changed. This is one of my favorite cartoon shows, kind of obscure. This is definitely the most obscure thing that I've got a t-shirt of at all ever in my life, I think. But definitely out of these 5 that I got from tpublic.com. Let's see, is anyone familiar with... Frank, look, it's another attack. They're not human. They're inhumanoids. The evil that lies within. From down in the fiery depths of the earth where nightmares begin. Do. Who can stop them? Earthcore, I hope. Inhumanoids. Can Earthcore stop this evil before it's too late? So that was my attempt at the Inhumanoids theme song. So Inhumanoids is a pretty obscure 80s Saturday morning cartoon by Hasbro, who of course did Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, and a ton of other things, but those were the big 3 in the 80s. And then, they made a ton of stuff in the 80s that didn't catch on, like Mask, Jim and the Holograms a little bit, and Inhumanoids, which didn't really catch on, sadly. So there was a 13-episode... cartoon based on the Inhumanoids toy line, and then it was cancelled after only 1 season, sadly. But it's fucking great. It's one of my favorite animated shows ever. I love Inhumanoids. It fucking rules, and I am in the middle of working on a bigger Inhumanoids retrospective video that I want to make. It's only 13 episodes. It's a very rewatchable series. It's probably the 6th or 7th time that I have watched the series all the way through, start to finish. So I'm nearly finished watching it, and I'm taking notes as I'm going, and then I'm going to write this big, long retrospective review. And I have to record it, and then I have to edit that motherfucker. It'll probably be like next summer by the time it comes out, because that's going to be a big project, because I want to talk about all of it. So you have that to look forward to, and I will be wearing the Inhumanoids t-shirt when I do it. But in the meantime, Inhumanoids is all on YouTube, on It's one guy has like a HD AI upscale or something. Go watch that, or just watch the shitty quality. It's in like fucking 240p on there as well. Go watch it on YouTube. Inhumanoids is a great show. I love it. Listen to the theme song and see if you think, oh, I did a better job than the. I mean, I didn't, but it's not a great theme song. But anyway, yeah, it's about giant monsters, as you can tell. It's basically like Transformers, but with like more like kaiju monsters than robots, where there's warring factions of monsters, basically from like ancient times, who are having a battle in modern day, and there's humans caught in the middle. There's more emphasis on the humans sometimes than the monsters, but not in like the Michael Bay sort of way, where it was like, what are we here for? You know, it's different than that. I'm going to do a big video about it, so I'm going to talk more about it there. I just want to show off that I got the Inhumanoids t-shirt, and it looks fucking cool. Yeah, so pivoting away from all of that now, I tried to have some very bare bones say, although I do have one segue, because earlier I said that like this last t-shirt isn't related to anything else. But I did say earlier, Kurt, please don't get cancelled, because I don't want to have to wear a t-shirt with a problematic person on it. But look, you gotta love an ironic t-shirt at the same time, alright? And it's Christmas. Christmas is a time of forgiveness and, you know, all the rest of it. So anyway, this is the final t-shirt that I got. Ugh. And this might be my favourite one as well. I mean, I love them all, but this one looks great. And when I tried it on yesterday, when I got here, it made me laugh so much. It's an election year, so I'm voting Nixon for president. Get him back in, because he still has 2 years left on his term or whatever. So I wonder how would that work if he I don't think he could have run again. But I don't know. This is not the time to get into it. I mean, it'd be the perfect time to get into it. I introduced the element because I'm wearing a fucking Richard Nixon t-shirt. But look at it. Like, it's fucking great. Oh my God. Look. I'm so happy with how it looks. It's by this guy, of course. I have to remember to put up the names of all the people who made this. Go support them. Yeah, go check out TeePublic and get the. I mean, their Black Friday sale is over, but they're still doing Christmas. There's always a new fucking sale every day. Let's go to TeePublic and get some t-shirts. Get a Tricky Dicky t-shirt if you want one, man. We'll walk around together, and I don't know. Does anyone do like I was going to say Nelson Rockefeller. That wasn't his vice president. Spiro Agnew was Nixon's vice president, and he resigned, and then Gerald Ford was his vice president. Then Nixon resigned, Gerald Ford became president, Nelson Rockefeller was his vice president. I was going to say, you should get a Nelson Rockefeller shirt and we'll walk around like a tag team. That doesn't make sense. You should get a Spiro Agnew or a Gerald Ford t-shirt. We could walk around like a tag team. Obviously, Spiro Agnew, immensely corrupt, so it'd be a lot funnier to have a Spiro Agnew t-shirt than a Gerald Ford t-shirt. But Gerald Ford t-shirt would be cool. Gerald Ford, you know, kind of cool, kind of a good man in a difficult position. But anyway, we don't need to get too into all of that, even though I introduced I'm not here to actually debate the legacy of the Nixon presidency or any of that. I just want to show off the fact that I got a Richard Nixon t-shirt and it looks fucking amazing. Anyway, so I've been doing this for 25 minutes now, and this is my bathroom right here. I want to go in there and use it, so I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to wish everybody Merry Christmas, because this is my last video before Christmas, so very happy Christmas to you. I don't know if there'll be a new video for New Year, so Happy New Year if I don't see you. And I hope all your dreams and wishes and everything come true this Christmas and in the new year. You have a good one, and all the rest of it. You can tell, like earlier was fine, doing this, but now, I really need to go to the bathroom, so we're really pacing back and forth. So we're going to wrap it up there with the Tricky Dicky t-shirt, and wishing you Merry Christmas and all the rest of it. Check out TeePublic. Here's my big haul of t-shirts. They're all just fucking... There you go. There's a good look at them. Yeah, and anyway, I know you wanted to... The only real reason that people actually watch the try-on haul is for this kind of thing. Whoa, let's get crazy Christmas. Whoa! Alright, I was gonna fling it at it, but I don't want to knock, because the camera is on the... Damn, I look African. The camera is on the windowsill, so if I throw it, I might knock the camera. Will fall down the stairs. So I'm going to throw it on the floor instead, and I'm going to come over and pause the video like a normal person. Also, 12 Angry Men. Watch it. Good movie. Alright, thank you. Merry Christmas. Love you lots. Mwah!